I am Kathy, the Adult Services Librarian at the Waynesville Library, and today we're going to be making these really cute candle holders. You can use a real candle or a battery operated, and they make a really great centerpiece, and they're pretty cheap to make too, and it's fun. So I'll tell you how to do it today and show you everything that you need. Any kind of craft glue. I happen to have Mod Podge. Kosher salt, make sure you get the coarse kosher salt because it looks a little bit more like snow than the other salts, so you want the big crystals. Some twine, fake or real greenery, berries, little pine cones, a wide mouth jar. You can use a narrow mouth jar, but it's such a pain to get the candle in and out, especially if you need to turn it on and off. So I always use the wide mouth ones because you can actually reach in and get the candle and turn it on or off, or even to light it or replace it. It's so much easier with a wide mouth jar. So this is a pickle jar, and the other two that I have here, this one right here is just a mason jar. I've already put the glue and the salt on that one, so it would be dry so I can decorate it. So let me just show you the first step. You're just going to put some of this craft glue all around the rim of the jar, and then I like to do it like kind of in drips down, not an even line, so it looks a little bit more like snow actually coming down. Just make sure you get enough on there. You got to work kind of fast because Mod Podge does dry pretty quickly. So I just go around with one of these little foam brushes. Put a pretty thick layer on, a few little drips down. And then you're gonna pour the salt on. And I like to do it over a bowl because after you finish, you're gonna be pouring the salt inside the jar because you're gonna nestle the candle down in it. So it's really easy to just do it like this. Catch as much of it as you can down in your bowl. And then after you've got a pretty good amount in the bowl, you can just get the spots where you didn't quite catch it the first time around. Usually let this dry for a couple hours. Depends on how thick you put the glue on, but at least an hour before you start decorating the rim because you'll dislodge all of the salt. So you just make sure that you've got all the spots covered. That looks pretty good. All right, you set that aside to dry. This is one over here that I made this morning. So what I'm going to do is take this extra salt, I'm going to pour it down inside, and then I'm going to add some to that. You want it to be like a third full, so you can put your candle in. I got this salt at Walmart, but Ingles carries it too. And I won't put the candle in quite yet because I want to show you a little trick for decorating that really makes it easy. So you cut a piece of twine about 4 times the length around. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Doesn't have to be exact, but you just want to give yourself enough to go around several times. And then about the middle of the string, you're going to want to go ahead and attach your decorations first. It makes it so much easier than trying to wrap it and then glue it. So I usually just find about in the middle and I put the greenery in there and then I just tie a knot around it. And I do have a hot glue gun, but it's not necessary for this craft. It just makes it a little bit easier, especially when you want to glue on something small like this. So now I've got those together in the string, and you can see how much easier it is to wrap this around when they're already tied in a knot. So it just really, it's a nice little trick to make it work a lot more smoothly. Just wrap around a few times. I like to tie it and then I glue the ends with the hot glue gun back here. If you don't have a hot glue gun, just use super glue or something that dries real quickly and glue your ends down. Tie a little knot and then glue your ends down. Okay, so that's done. So now I want to attach some these little pine cones on here. You can see that there's salt that's being knocked off. That's not a problem. In fact, you kind of want to knock some of that off before you set it down on the table. So kind of, if you just go like that and then brush some of it away, you'll see that there's always going to be a little bit that's loose. The hot glue gun works really well for these. As you can see, you don't even have to wait. You just put the glue on, stick those on there. And I like to put glue around the stems that are showing of your fake greenery. So what I do is I just put a little bit of this Mod Podge right on top there. You can see what I'm doing here. Just dab that on top. And then I like to dab it on the top of some of the berries and the tips of your greenery. And then I'm going to sprinkle salt down on it and you'll see it looks like snow. So I'm going to just put a little bit of this in my bowl here. And just sprinkle it down on there and it'll cover up the stems up there. And it looks really cute to have it on the edges so that it looks a little bit like snow. I'll bring my bowl over here. Makes a little bit of a mess, but it's just salt, so you can easily wipe it away. So, that's it. Really nice and simple and so cute. I'll show you what it looks like with the light on. Just drop it down into your little snowdrift down there. That's why you want the wide mouth jar. See how much easier it makes it. And then the string attached to this. There we go. All right. Okay. So you can see it's a lot easier now to get inside there and mess around with the candle as long as you use a wide mouth jar. That's it. You're going to want to, of course, to let it dry completely. But it only takes like 15 or 20 minutes for that hot glue and all of the salt on the outside of there to completely dry. Bang it a little bit will come off, and then you're ready to go. So if you'd like to get the written instructions for this craft, you can find it on the Haywood County website. And if you have any questions for me at all, don't hesitate to email. And thanks so much for watching. So if this craft has got you interested in making some beautiful things for your home for this holiday season, take a look at these 3 books. 300 Ways to Make the Best Christmas Ever has some really great crafts in it using objects from nature. The Martha Stewart book, Classic Crafts and Recipes, has a lot of crafts, recipes, and some sheet music in it, which is really fun. So you could have a sing-along. And the last one is Vintage Christmas Crafts. Beautiful decorations for your home in the vintage style. So check them out.